Welcome to the Grain Pro Market Report.
Hello and welcome to the Grain Pro New Crop Report for Friday the 5th of July 2019. Victorian prices have climbed slightly this week, $2 to $5 I guess across the board for barley and wheat, and other than that we've seen some increase in bid side parcels up to anywhere from 1 to 3,000 tonnes out to September and October. We've had some activity overseas, Josh.
That's right, yeah. The USDA crop acreage report came out on Friday last week, and it was a surprise to say the least, actually.
Absolutely.
Given the excessive moisture and just the planting delays, I was really surprised to see a 3% increase, actually, in acres planted.
I think they got that right?
I think it's
really
important to note that this survey was done at the beginning of June, and right. I feel like the farmers' expectations at that point were likely a lot more positive than what they ended up getting in the ground. So a lot of the trade would agree with that, and the USDA has taken the extra step of resurveying these farmers. And
so they should.
They're going to re-release those results on August 12th. So we'll find out a bit more then.
So the market went into shock mode, and
absolutely, yeah. Those numbers affected the market without a doubt, and we saw a pretty precipitous drop on Monday, Tuesday for corn and wheat, but those gains did come back here. It's just before the July 4th long holiday over in the US right now. So we'll see how that sort of plays out over the next week or so. Internationally, new crop looks pretty decent in a couple of key growing areas. Russia and Ukraine looks pretty good coming out of there right now. Argentina is expected to have a pretty big crop this year for what they've planted as well. A few trouble spots in Germany and places like that, but overall the wheat market is looking pretty strong from a production side of things.
So worldwide higher yields.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
We've seen that out here too with the ABARES report that was released in June.
Right.
Talking total planted hectares on all the winter crops, up about 9% to just under 20 million hectares.
For New South Wales?
For nationwide, for the whole country.
Right, okay,
And we've also seen a 20% sort of increase in the yield expectations nationwide too, to just over 36 million metric tonnes. So
it's looking good.
Yeah, great rain sort of through Western Australia has brought them back on board, and they're talking big increases for New South Wales. Obviously, that could change with some reports of some fairly dry conditions north of sort of the central west. But what we've also seen with that report and the reports out of the US and Russia is that we've seen the new crop numbers really soften in Australia in the last fortnight.
Yeah, they have.
Both futures and the physical markets.
Why do you think that is?
Oh, look, I think it's probably a bit of there's a bit of sympathy there with the US markets.
Yeah.
Increased production out of Russia, but also some bigger numbers in Australia as well, and some better conditions moving forward into the new crop.
So a risky scenario really to play in that new crop game.
Not many growers are playing in that space. All the interest we're getting at this stage is really coming out of the trade.
Right.
There are a few guys in some of those southern Victorian, central Victorian areas where we've had some more rainfall that have wanted to be a bit of a part of it, but they're still very hesitant to get into it. And the only other thing we've seen is the physical market on new crop bidding into Melbourne has come off by sort of $5. Same into all the other delivered zones. So GV down to about $3.20 for wheat and about $2.80 for barley on the new year, and Melbourne down to sort of that $3.25 roughly, and $2.88 on the barley side of things on new crop numbers. So
right,
softening from last week.
A lot different. Yeah.
Also, a little bit of demand for new crop pulses.
Really?
Faba beans for a start. they're being bid at $6.50 DCT. So traditionally, that's a really good price. Aside from last year's
absolutely
$1,000 a tonne sort of numbers. So you would think that would attract some attention. Not much grower engagement too early on pulses. Right. I would have thought Faba beans.
Yep. Any interest from overseas buyers or?
Yeah. Demand's coming from Egypt's the main country looking for offers on new crop.
Albus lupins have
Albus lupins.
Now.
No, the old crop are demand around $9.70 DCT. Growers are still looking for close to $1,000 on farm.
Yes.
There's very, very few around.
I can't imagine there'd be many around.
No. And new crop, there's bids out there at $6.50 DCT on Albus lupins.
Still pretty good.
That's traditionally pretty good for Albus lupins as well. Yeah, so, and cottonseed, the old crop cottonseed's fairly stable.
Yeah.
The MIA prices are hovering around $4.40 to $4.50. Northern gins, Moree, around 5.20, something like that. The northern gins are meant to stop ginning in August this season, which is early. So it'll be interesting to see what happens August onwards with prices, given the tight squeeze.
But there's
on.
bids out there for new crop cottonseed.
And very little offers in the market on the old crop from September onwards. So interesting to see what happens on prices there.
Thank you.
And oats stable, still.
Yeah, oats is an interesting one. There doesn't seem to be many around, but it's kind of
Bit of resistance on the buy
bid
side.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, sort of hovering around 550, 60 Melbourne. Still oats coming in from WA into Newcastle, Parks and Melbourne. So.
Wow. Well, thank you, Cameron.
Interesting.
Well, there you have it for this week, our new crop report for the 5th of July 2019. Don't forget to leave your comments below, and also a quick mention that the team will be at the Speed Field Days on the 1st of August, 31st of July, and we'd hope to see you there. Bye for now.
See live bids and offers on grainpro.com.au.